Step one is to create a food log. Here's a look at a food log that I created for myself. This is a 1 day or 24-hour food log. It's good because you could keep this in your pocket, but if you wanted to use a notepad, an app on your phone, that's fine as well. You just want to make sure you pick a typical day, not like a holiday or a birthday or some day where you'd be eating foods that you don't typically eat. Notice sections are broken into meals, but also snacks, because drinks, toppings, ketchup, mayonnaise, things like salad dressing definitely adds on to the calories. You're basically going to put the food you had and an estimate of the servings of that food. Now, of course, you could use any nutrition facts labels that are on your foods. Check out the serving size and estimate about how many servings you had. And I also give out this serving size chart, which is available through the Dairy Council of California, a free downloadable printable resource that's great and comes in English and Spanish. Step 2 is to set up and use SuperTracker. Go to Create Profile. Come up with the profile name, age, gender, and it's important to select physical activity level because this will dictate the amount of calories that you need. It would be great if you had a height and weight too. Then a username and password that you're going to remember, because if you don't finish, you're going to need to log back in later. And all your work is always automatically saved in SuperTracker. I'm going to log in. And go to Track Food and Activity and then Food Tracker. This has me logged in for November 21st, where I just did a diet analysis and all my work was saved. If I go ahead to today's date, today's actually December 12th, and all that will be gone. So if I were to just log in, I was logged in before, so that's why I went to November 21st. But if I log in tomorrow, it's going to be on the 13th. It might look like everything's gone, but just remember to select that date back to the day you did the diet analysis, and all your work should be automatically saved. So just to show you how to start this, I'm going to go to today's date and start entering some foods that I had today. Starting with my breakfast, which was shredded wheat cereal. There it is. I'm going to say at about 3 cups. So it only is giving me the option of 2. So I'll check off breakfast and then add that, and I'll have to go back in, see this food again, and add in my 1 other cup to breakfast. Now you see my whole grain shoot up. Now this doesn't automatically assume that I had milk with that. So I'll have to add milk separately. If I just search for milk, there's 522 results. Luckily mine is right here. Let's say I had about 2.5 cups of milk. I would select 2 for breakfast. Let's see the food again to get my half cup in. Okay. Now, not everything is perfect on here. For example, one food that I have often is hemp seeds, and they don't have hemp seeds, but the idea is to find something similar, something that's going to give me approximately the same major nutrients. So in place of hemp seeds back on the 21st, I put chia seeds in place of that. If you had something big like a chicken sandwich, you might have to put the bread, the chicken, the lettuce, the tomato all in separately. But as an end result, this is what you'll see. 3 is analyze, and answering questions is the last part of this. So on a sheet that looks like this, you're going to answer these questions, and I'll show you what I did. Here's my completed worksheet. Part 1 is based on the food tracker graph. So I start with number 1, did you make at least half your grains whole? I said no, it was 34%. You could actually put your cursor over the whole grains here, and it'll tell you exactly what percent of your grains come from whole grains. Percentage of vegetables for the day is 189. From the fruit you ate, was it mostly from whole fruit or fruit juices? This was from whole fruit, as you can see. The striped section would represent fruit juices. Did you get enough from the milk, yogurt, and cheese group? I actually went a little bit overboard with 127%, but I said yes. Did you get enough from the protein group? Said no, only 72%. Now the next two parts, part 2 and 3, I need the nutrient intake report, which is right here. And a lot of students have to ask a couple times where this exactly is, but it's kind of easy to miss. Nutrient intake report, you click on that, and you have a lot of great information here. It gives you your target for all these nutrients and what you received from your diet that day. So for part 2, you're just basically filling in whether you got too much, in the acceptable range, or not enough. So my calories were way over. My carbohydrates, if you look, says 130 grams. I ate 555. For some reason, I don't know why, but the website is telling me this is okay. I think that's a bit much. I don't know why they do that, but for me here, I said too much. If a student put okay, I can't argue with them because that's the results they're getting, but I put too much. Same thing with protein and fiber. So my protein, and I'm not looking at the percentage of protein from my total calories. I'm just looking at protein by itself. I was targeted for 56, but I ended up getting 103. For some people, that's not bad. Maybe athletes, people that are weight training, may need some more protein in their diet, but I circled too much. Again, if a student circles okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Okay, my fiber was a bit much, 75 grams, which in this case is okay as long as my digestion is all right. I know most students don't get enough fiber, but I still circled too much. Again, that's debatable. The fat was in the acceptable range, so I go down to total fat and check that out. Part 3 is set a nutrition goal based on the evaluation above. So I know that I'm lacking in some nutrients, okay? So I could pick some of these, or I could actually go back to my sheet just to see. I needed something that I was lacking in, and I wasn't lacking in any of these. So I'm gonna go back to my nutrient intake report, find something that's under, and for me it was vitamin D. So I'm gonna click on this plus sign, and it's gonna tell me where I could get more vitamin D from. So here it gives a few suggestions, and I like salmon, so I put for my nutrition goal, I need to eat more salmon because this analysis shows that I'm lacking vitamin D. Okay. Also, we're looking at what you need to cut down on, if anything. So for me, I had plenty to choose from. I decided to cut down on sodium. As you can see, my sodium is way over. Clicked on that. I saw that I was getting most of my sodium from salsa, but also I did kind of pig out on the crackers a bit, so I decided to cut down on crackers and put that in. I need to eat less crackers because this analysis shows I'm getting too much sodium. Okay, so each section here is worth 10 points. So each question in part 1 is worth 2. Times 5 questions is 10 out of 10. Same thing with part 2. Each area is worth 2 points, and each goal is worth 5 points. So each section being 10, the total comes out to 30. I have students include the nutrient intake report. Sometimes it's easiest printed in Microsoft Word. This nutrient intake report itself is worth 10 points, and then your food log is worth 10 points for a grand total of 50 points for the project. Yeah.